Hola familia. So, I've been having real difficulty deciding what should be my next video because everything is so all over the place. And, you know, but I just want to make like a young video for a discussion we had. And a brother of mine, he was obviously explaining to me why he's into white women and shit like that, and yellow bones and shit like that. You have to ask yourself, where does this mentality even come from in terms of you deciding, in terms of your preference, like what is attractive to you and what is not attractive to you? But let's look at the basis of it, right? In terms of how the brainwashing has happened. And you should actually go read this book, The Four Agreements by Michael Ratz. He actually speaks about the Toltec culture. The Toltec people are basically these ancient Mexicans, and they brought like a whole culture in terms of, if you just go look it up, like Toltec speaks about the Nagual and the Tonal and how it shifts and how the dream world is actually, but that's a whole different video. So this notion that we have that all of us here on earth are, people of the earth, that is not true. It is not true. So if I can just digest it quickly for you, right? If you understand creation, right? Creation is basically everything that you create, you have to be responsible for, you have to nurture, and you have to strengthen. That's how the DNA is actually growing in terms of coming out of this slum of thinking about who we are as black people. Black people are the original people of this earth. Let me tell you why. And this is why you get to understand the notion of why life started in Africa. If you do any type of experiment in terms of growing a tree, growing life form, everything, it needs light, right? It needs heat, right? So, why is it that white people get cancer from the sun, bro? You thought God put this sun out there to shine on earth and put his people on earth for them to be damaged by something he created. Come on, man, you have to be realistic, and this is a very logical thing. White people are GMOs, man, genetically modified around about 6,000 years ago, and the Anunnaki was still on earth. I'm not here to convince you. I just want to put out this information as it is, because it is what it is, man. I don't really have any rights to the information. I just want to bring it out there, and you can do your research and do whatever. But I'll put like a clip in, and a white professor spoke about this specifically. So this melanin that we have, right, doesn't come just from your skin. Nothing in the body is how it seems. This is why I'm speaking about the body being such a sophisticated technology. The melanin, your brain, your pineal gland, which is in the esoteric world is represented as your third eye, right, is actually what gives your body, your skin, the messages that you must produce melanin. Because your pineal gland, black people, your pineal gland is already open from when you're born. This third eye calcification only happens later when you grow up, when you're, with the type of toothpaste you're using, the type of water that you're drinking, the type of you eating meat and all of this other shit. But I'll put in another video or a link for you, the type of foods that will help you decalcify your third eye. So going back to the white versus black thing, this dynamic that we have, white people are systematically put on this planet to control black people. That's why they gave us Christianity. After they came, they killed our ancestors. First, they came for the warriors. When they came on Africa, they came to Africa, they took all the warriors away first to leave us vulnerable, and they left some pussy ass niggas out here. I don't mean to say it like that, but it is what it is. That's why nobody was there to defend us. We stopped even worshiping our people. Now you believe that it's a white guy on a cross that's here to come save you. Are you fucking crazy, fam? Are you crazy? If there was really a white man that's saving black people out here, what the fuck are all these white people not doing the same thing? They have all the land, they have all the resources, they live in all the best neighborhoods. Bro, if I bring you even this dynamic of where Jesus Christ learned most of his shit from? He learned it from the Library of Alexander in Egypt. This is Egypt, is like basically the panacea of all information, man. When they came here, when the English came and the British came here, they knew what they were coming for, because they've already been given information. So there's this thing, right? If you look at your hand, pardon my ugly ass long fingers, but if you look at your hands, right, white people don't have this shit. They don't have this shit because they come from some fucking apes, bro. They come from apes, straight up. Melanin, right, absorbs light. So when the Anunnaki came here, they're trying to dissect the DNA so they can create their own beings. With their own scientific stuff. So they were trying to use light, which is light, obviously, if you understand light and the frequency of light. This is what I was saying, like the highest form of God's representation on the third dimension. I've been telling you, it's light, bro. Electricity, light. Electricity is just a lower frequency of fire, for example. Like the fourth dimension is made of electricity and magnetism. This is how we're earning our thoughts actually attract whatever we want to, because it comes from a higher dimension. I don't want to push this information down your throat. Some of y'all are still youngins. What I actually want to do in my next video, for you to understand the dynamics of you as an individual, I'm going to start with a series of what the chakras are. Black people, man, we're so behind, man. We are so behind, my people. If you are still in your Christian vibes, I feel sorry for you. I feel really, really, really sorry for you. Like, if you are choosing, there's no good or bad really on earth. The dynamic doesn't exist unless you bring it down to the denser dimensions. Only then are we there really concerned about duality. But duality as a concept is just the spirit honing into a certain vibration or a certain frequency, and then that it shifts itself, because nothing can contaminate the spirit, not our experiences, not our emotions, not our thoughts, not our locale, nothing. All of that information is just stored in the soul. So ultimately, when the pineal gland gives information for your skin to start producing melanin, it's because it's fully aware of the sun. This is how we were created by the great architect of the universe. So why is it that white people get skin cancer, bro? I've been sun gazing. I'd spend like 2 hours in the sun. That's how I boost up my solar plexus, because that's the only thing that empowers that chakra. Nothing you eat, drink, nothing. It's only sunlight that affects the solar plexus, and this is why I was explaining what the solar plexus is. But I'm gonna do like a total video in terms of understanding what the different chakras do, how you can how you can see if they are over operating or under operating, because you always have to look at your input must always be balanced. Your whole experience is about being balanced. It's all about being balanced. So this notion that we have about white people being superior, no, bro, it's set up like that. That's why we are battling that shit now. We have to get over all of those fears and traumas that are trapped in our DNA. Matter of fact, go look up this motherfucker, man, Dan Winter. This is a biophysician, if I'm not mistaken, and he's actually spoken about the coherence of the heart and how it affects the DNA. When you start to produce a certain level of bliss, you actually alter your DNA. So when you increase in consciousness, or you increase in vibration, you ultimately shedding all that dark shit from the DNA. So when the kids are going to be born, the next generation, maybe not the next, maybe the one after that, depending on how much work you're putting in, then you'll be able to look at like what is fundamental in terms of getting you to that next level. And I'm advising y'all, man, guys, if you know what's what, stop having kids with white women, dog. Straight up. Go for black women. Black women are the juice, man. They don't know it because they've also been heavily brainwashed. This is why I even find it very, very difficult now to fuck with even local women, because they are still on that lacking poverty mindset. And not poverty just in terms of like money or physical representation of the third dimension. I'm talking about in totality, in terms of like the behavior, the feminine energies are just lacking. They're just lacking, man. they don't really know how to push out those feminine energies to balance out the masculine. And unfortunately, these are just some of the things that they have to deal with. I mean, if I have a daughter, when I have a daughter, I want to make sure I flip that shit like ASAP. My girlfriend's pregnant now, so I'm really, really excited. It might definitely be a boy, might definitely be a boy, but if it's a woman, I have the name and everything already set out, dog. Like, man, you don't even understand how privileged you are to be black, bro. I don't want to go into the anatomy of the physical body of black people and how white people have spent thousands of years, not thousands of years, but like so much time just studying black people. So Batman, I don't know what the lady's name with the fat ass, they legit took her from here, Namibia, went to go study her, bro, because they just couldn't understand how a person could be built so it shows everything. It shows everything, bro. Like, they took Germans from Namibia to go study their skulls in Germany. Imagine that happens to you if you see like your mom and dad in a pot being boiled to the skin folds of their bones. That's some dramatic shit, bro. And that's how you have the opportunity now to start sharing it. They're not doing rituals anymore. Soccer, all of this shit that was really distracting us is gone now. I'm saying this from my dome, man. I'm gonna make like a proper video and I'm gonna load it on YouTube. Maybe this one deserves to go on YouTube. Who knows? Who really knows? But that's what I'm saying, man. Like, just getting your black shit, really find out who your ancestors were. Find out what they were experiencing, what their traumas are. I'm gonna check in, comment and subscribe.